the first step. Momentum doesn't begin with confidence, it begins with courage. Welcome to the Daily Spark. This week we're exploring the power of momentum, how great leaders and everyday people find the strength to begin even when the first step feels impossible. Today's story is about a teacher who discovered that life's biggest breakthroughs often start with something very small, one honest step forward. Lisa had been teaching for nearly 20 years. She spent her days inspiring her students to reach higher, but privately, she stopped believing that kind of growth was possible for herself. Years of stress, skipped exercise, and endless self-sacrifice had taken its toll. "I'll start next month," she'd say to herself about getting healthier. But next month kept coming and going. The weight of inaction grew heavier than the weight that she carried physically. One evening, after another long day, Lisa sat on her porch watching the sunset. For the first time in years, she realized she couldn't remember doing something purely for herself. That night, she made a small, silent promise. "Tomorrow, I'll walk 1 block." The next morning she did, and it wasn't easy. Her legs burned, her breath was short, and self-doubt whispered every step of the way. But she did it. And the following day, she walked 2 blocks, then 3. Within a few weeks, those walks became a daily ritual, her quiet act of rebellion against stagnation. Months later, she signed up for a charity 5K. She crossed the finish line last, but she crossed it. Her students showed up with handmade signs cheering, "Go Mrs. H." By the next year, she completed her first marathon. When someone asked how she did it, she smiled and said, "The hardest mile was the first one I never ran." Lisa's story isn't really about running. It's about reclaiming momentum, something we can all lose in our lives. She didn't wait for motivation. She created it. She didn't overhaul her life overnight. She simply started walking. And that's what real leaders do. They move first. Momentum is not built on perfection. It's built on persistence. The small step forward carries more power than standing still with perfect intentions. Here's a reflection prompt. What's the, quote, first block, unquote, in your life? The one small action that could start everything moving again. And your daily spark? You don't need to run a marathon today. You just need to take the first step, because momentum doesn't meet you at the finish line. It meets you at the start. Tomorrow, we'll explore what happens when life knocks your progress off track, and how one small-town mechanic proved that even from the ashes, motion is always possible. Remember, growth doesn't wait for perfect timing. It waits for your decision to begin. Until our next episode, I'm truly wishing you well.